Hello everyone, this is Yogita and you're watching English Finishing School. Friends, in the past week we have been studying about various types of non-finite verbs. We have discussed about infinitives, we've also learnt about gerunds, we have learnt about present participle and the past participle in our previous videos as far as non-finite types are concerned. And in today's video, we are particularly going to focus upon the last component or type of non-finite verbs, that is perfect participle. So, if you have not watched those previous videos yet, you can find the links in the description box and watch them after watching today's video. And watch today's video till the end to understand this concept of perfect participle in detail, and I promise you are never going to forget that in future. But before we proceed with today's lecture, there's a small request like every time. Subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so that you get all the updates about our future videos. So let's get started. Perfect participle. As the name suggests, it is perfect. So when I talk about perfect tenses, we all say perfect means the task is complete in itself. And perfect participle is a type of non-finite verbs. Now non-finite verbs we've already discussed in our previous lectures is a verb which is not affected by the subject and the main verb of the tense. And non-finite verb always exists with the main verb in a tense, in a sentence. So, it is a type of non-finite verb. Perfect participle, the structure of perfect participle, let us look at that first. It is having plus the past participle form, that is the third form. So, I can say having done, having broken, having gone, having made, having prepared, having moved, having shaken. So, with all the past participle, when this word having is attached, that makes the structure for perfect participle. Now, we have to look at various examples and we have to also understand its role in a sentence. When we use the structure having plus third form in a sentence, we mean to say that the action has completed and the other action which is there with the main verb is completed after that. So, the first action is in the form of present participle which completes first, and then the second action which is there with the main verb is completed later after that. So, of course, it is a participle, it is a non-finite verb, it is not going to change. So, let us look at first example. Having had breakfast, she went out to play. Now, she had breakfast first. This is one task, and after the completion of that task, she went out to play. So, this is the example of perfect participle and this is an example of a finite verb. So, this is non-finite verb, that is perfect participle. This is our finite verb which always changes. So, this is how we define perfect participle, is the first part, having had. So, here we have our perfect participle. Had is the third form for has or have. Then we have second example with us. Having finished her homework, Lavisha watched TV. Now, one action is completed. After that, Lavisha did something else. So, my perfect participle in this sentence is having finished. So, finished is the third form of finish, and this is a non-finite verb, of course, the perfect participle. And after having finished her homework, this action takes place before, then Lavisha watched TV. This is an example of finite, that is the main verb. So, this is the main verb, this will change, but this will not change with the tense. If I change the subject, somebody else watch TV, Lavisha, Rishabh, they watch TV, and it is not being affected by the subject they. And watches, if I put watches also, then also I won't change it, I'll keep it fixed. So, these structures are not changed and not affected by the change in subject or change in the main verb. Let us look at another example. Having spoken the truth, So she spoke the truth first. This is the first action which is completed. So having plus third form. Third form of speak is spoken. This is the perfect participle in this sentence, and after having spoken the truth, she took a sigh of relief. She took a sigh of relief means she took a deep breath. When you have a sigh of relief, it means that you just relax in yourself, taking a deep breath inside. So she took a sigh of relief later on, having spoken the truth. So that is how third form, having third form, perfect participle. It is an example of a non-finite verb, and perfect participle is a type of non-finite verb and doesn't change with the change in subject or with the change in the main verb. That is, here our main verb is took. Let us look at example number 4. Having prepared lunch, she took some rest. Now, having prepared, she prepared lunch. After that, she did something else. Having prepared is past perfect participle, having plus third form. So this is the third form for prepare. Then she took is the finite verb, that is the main verb, some rest. So even if I use it in present form, having prepared lunch, she takes some rest. So having prepared is not going to change with the change in tense and with the change in subject. So subject does not affect us. A finite verb does not affect this. A tense does not affect this structure. So this is an example of perfect participle as a type of non-finite verb. Let us look at another example. Having recovered from illness, she started going to the office. So here my perfect participle is having recovered, and then finite verb in this sentence which talks about tense is started going to the office. Let us look at example number 6. Having explained the concept, the teacher gave a test. So having explained is the perfect participle here. Explained the concept. After that, the teacher gave a test. Now here gave a test. Remember this thing, very, very important. Gave is our finite verb, but as a concept also we need to say when the students take a test always, and the teacher always gives a test. Sometimes English learners, beginners always use it in the reverse sense that students give the test and the teacher takes a test. No, it is just the reverse we talk about in English language. So next example. Having announced the contest was being announced. Having announced, so again we have structure V3, having plus V3 of a perfect participle. They took the entries. So this is how we will use as perfect participle, and it will not be affected by the subject. She took the entries, she takes the entries, they take the entries, we take the entries. It could be anything, but having announced will not change. So let us look at the last example. Having worked for so long, I thought of going on a vacation. So having worked is my perfect participle, and I thought of going on a vacation. Thought is my main verb which will change with the tense, and that's all. So this is all about perfect participles, and we also call them perfect participle phrases. These are the phrases which we are using in the beginning of the sentence, where two actions are taken together in a sentence. One action being done, after that the second is completed. So this is all about perfect participles. I hope you have understood this concept. You have understood this concept very clearly, and you are never going to make mistakes in that. So if you like this video, do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe our channel, and also press the little bell icon so that you get all the updates through the ringing bell whenever we update our next videos. Thanks a lot for watching. Stay tuned with us.